Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are doing a Sims 4 speed decorate of this already fabulous house, but we are integrating some packs into it today, so that's going to be fun. But before we get started with that, I must tell you that I have in fact received some, not all, not even half, but some of the Sims 4 packs for free, courtesy of the EA Creator Program. Thank you, EA, for the free packs that I have received. Now let's get into it. This is my all packs save file, and as such, I wanted to okay, first of all, they did a beautiful job at updating these base game homes that have Sims living in them. They didn't do the other homes that don't have Sims living in them. They only redid the homes that have Sims living in them, which was more than enough. And they did such a beautiful job on it. Like, I know some of it is we have more stuff in the base game now than we had in 2014, and like new ways of doing things and whatever have come about over the last 11 years. So like there was a lot more there for them to work with, is what I'm trying to say, to spruce these houses up. They did an absolutely wonderful job, but the thing was is they were still restricted to base game only, and in and of itself, that is like a major feat, being able to make such a wonderful build. Not that the original was terrible. Personally, I did not hate the original Roomies house. I just think it needed a little bit of sprucing up. And yeah, that base game only sprucing up, like they did fantastic. I don't know how much better I could have done, honestly. But again, this is my all pack save file, and I want all houses to be well integrated with as many of the packs as I can possibly fit into each house, so that it doesn't feel like I'm going from a base game house to a horse ranch only house to a seasons only house, and that right there was driving me crazy. Every time I got rid of that little half wall in the kitchen, the coat rack in the front hallway area would delete, and I have no clue whatsoever what those two pieces had anything to do with each other at all. Like, a random half wall on the opposite side of the lot was deleting an object on the other, completely other side. Like, make it make sense, please, because it just doesn't. But anyways, I don't want to feel like I'm moving from base game to pack to pack to base game again when I'm moving through the game. I want to feel like all of these different places literally coexist. And so I want to integrate all of the different packs all over the place. And that's kind of what the idea for this is. Also, if I'm being honest, it's a little bit of a filler video, because I just didn't feel like working on the video that I originally planned for today. And so occasionally you'll see these videos that I throw in that are a little less intense. They don't require a whole lot of mental effort on my part. They still are great, necessary videos. I still would have done them at some point, because this is the all packs save file. I would have wanted to integrate all the packs into all the homes eventually, regardless. It's just right now I didn't know what else to do or feel like doing anything else, and so I used this as a filler opportunity. So yeah, that's kind of the secret to my behind the scenes there. I have not been spending much time at other sites outside of YouTube recently. I have not been on Twitter much. I have not been on Blue Sky or anything like that much recently, so I don't know everything that's going on in the community. But I did see a couple of things on YouTube here that people think that the new roadmap for the new season should be coming out soon. Like maybe potentially even next week ish. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm going to be honest though, nothing so far indicates that we're going to get anything groundbreaking or majorly changing the game. I mean, we just got businesses and hobbies, and in a way that is a massive change to the game. Absolutely huge change to the game. And while it does seem like they're gonna be releasing another expansion pack this summer, I don't think that they would go from one major, massive, game altering pack to another one. That's not how they've been doing it so far. I feel like the next pack is going to be more in the same vein as maybe Love Struck, where it sort of changes something fundamental about the game, but not enough for most people to care. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm just going to continue going along, building and decorating my builds the way I am, because I don't. That's my dog, sorry. Because I don't suspect that there's going to be any major changes to prepare for in the future. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if we were gonna get, I don't know, say hotels or something like that in the next pack, then obviously I would start gearing my builds towards being more resort like, or I would start building more resort, hotel, whatever vacation type builds. I would start making space in some of my builds for the things that I think might be coming in that. Even things that you can just integrate at home. So, for instance, we've got a big pool in this house. If I anticipated there was going to be some kind of big major change to the game that gave us, say, new diving boards and pool slides and other related pool things that went along with a travel pack or a hotel pack or whatever, I'd be changing this pool area to match what I think might be coming in the future. And I just don't see it. I don't see anything major as far as builders are going to be concerned happening. I'm leaving the pool like this because I'm not anticipating any kind of hotel, resort, swimming pool, water park stuff that could be integrated into this house in the future. And I just don't see the point. Does that make sense? So, when I'm doing these all pack builds and all pack redecorating things, I always keep in mind what might be coming in the very, very near future that I could potentially come back and integrate in without having to do another whole video for it. You know what I mean? If we got pool slides, adding a pool slide to this lot would be a little bit more new pack integration, but wouldn't necessarily require an entire new build video. So that's kind of the process I go through when I'm building and decorating these all pack save file homes, is I'm keeping my mind on the very near future. What does it feel like? What does the community think? What are all the hints leading towards for the very near future, so that I can leave space to integrate little things here and there? And for this one, I don't see a need to change it too much more after this in the very near future, because I don't feel like we're going to get a lot in the very near future that I'm going to want to fundamentally change this lot. Maybe a little bit of decorative pieces here and there, like for instance, if we get a band pack later this year, which a lot of hints seem to be going in that direction. If we get a band pack later this year, I might want to incorporate a DJ table out on the patio, or if that's something that comes in the pack. Or none of these Sims are overly like music inclined, so this definitely would not be one of those builds. But that's kind of how I go about these all pack save files builds, is just keeping in mind what we might get in the future and what I might want to incorporate. So I just thought I'd give you a little insight into that while we were talking about the new roadmap coming out and what we could be looking forward to in the future. I didn't really know how to decorate these bedrooms. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know these Sims as well as some of the other Sims in the game. I have played far, far more with like the party house Sims from Windenburg than I have ever played with these 4 Sims, I think. So I struggled a lot more decorating their rooms than I did decorating the party house Sims apartments. And speaking of that, so my only knowledge and experience in life is people living in apartment buildings, or a person owning a home and then renting out rooms to roommates or friends or whatever, or allowing friends or whatever to move in and then kind of sharing the cost of the home. But when those friends or whatever move out, they don't get anything when they move. The person who owns the house sort of profits off the ownership of that house. Those are kind of my experiences in life. And I do like to have my save file, my all pack save file, to be kind of more on the realistic side, which is partly why I built the apartments for the party house Sims over in Windenburg, but also because apartment buildings are cool and they're fun to build, and why not build them for a group of acquaintances who, if you look at their relationship panel when you first start up the game, are not even friends. They are literally just acquaintances. So it makes sense that they would not be sharing an owned house together. However, it also does not make sense for every single Sim in the world to be living in an apartment building either. Like, sometimes single people do get together and roommate in a house. The only thing that I would maybe do is change it so that one person owns, or one Sim owns the house, and then the others are just roommates of that person and they're contributing towards the bills. But I think with the roommate system, and I'd have to test this out to be sure, but I think with the roommate system, you can't necessarily pick who your roommates are the way you can pick who is living in an apartment building. So you can put an ad out and say, hey, I need a roommate, but the 3 Sims specifically that you want living in this house might not like answer that ad. You know what I'm saying? You might get other Sims instead. I've never much played with the roommate system since university came out, so I don't really truly know how it actually works. I guess that's something I could try out, because in a situation like this, I forget what his name is, but there's one sim in this group who is like the quote unquote wealthy sim. He seems like the guy who would own this entire house and be renting out the rest of the rooms to his friends. This guy right here. I forget what his name is though. He seems like he'd be like the quote unquote owner renting out to the other Sims. I would totally do it that way for the save file if I could be sure that it would work that way. I might do some testing out to see if it does, because to me that's more realistic and makes more sense than 4 random strangers getting together and purchasing with a mortgage a house, you know? But it also doesn't make sense to me to build apartment buildings every place where there's this group of single Sims living together either, because that's not really realistic either. Like in real life, there are groups of people who are just friends who are living in a regular house together and sharing the expenses. So that's why I chose not to replace this with an apartment building and leave it sort of like this. And I don't plan on doing that like for the BFFs either. They might be in a duplex, or they might just stay in their shared updated home. Although, as much as I love the BFF's updated home, I don't think it makes sense in that neighborhood, so I might change it just because of that, because it's a very sort of grand house for the kind of neighborhood that it's in. And I think it's a little bit too much for the neighborhood that it's in. So I might change theirs just because it's a little too much. And now we can go to the walkthrough. So entryway, I kind of cordoned it off from the living space there. As you can see, we've got this entry room, plenty of space to add newer things as time goes on, coats and shoes wise and stuff like that. But just a place to enter the house, use up that extra space. Then here's the living room. Not too much changed in the living room, but the kitchen got some items in it that are now useful for purchasing food and stuff from that new clutter pack that we got for kitchens. Then here is the spruced up patio. This is the one area they didn't put a ton of stuff on or in, because base game just doesn't come with it. So I added all the little things like the fairy lights and the more integrated grill and a couch that looks much more comfortable than what was there before. And we'll just go into the hallway where the bedrooms are here now. Another look at those clutter items that you can actually click on and get food from. I thought that was really fun. So this is kind of the slob guy's room. He doesn't really care too much about stuff, I guess, from what I gather from his personality. I did not change the bathrooms, not really. This is sort of just a slightly upgraded courtyard. I just put some more comfortable looking chairs out there. And then this is sort of the like bookwormish. There's no bookworm here, but like he's more academic than the other Sims. And this is our girly girl. She's seems to be kind of fashion, makeup, girly aesthetic, sort of sim. So that's kind of what I went with. Actually, if I'm being honest, this is probably my favorite of all the bedrooms. I think it turned out kind of cute. Very girly, though. Very, very pink and girly. Again, didn't really do much with the bathroom. I kind of left it. It looks like a very nice 70s bathroom already. And then this is the guy that I think would be like the owner of the house. And he seems like a Bitcoin bro to me. So this is his kind of, I'm athletic, but also I'm a Bitcoin bro kind of aesthetic going on, which was already kind of there to begin with. I just added on to it. And there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.